December 1944, the Ardennes forest in Belgium. Snow fell so thick it erased the line between earth and sky. In a shallow ditch, 19-year-old Private William Tsakanikas pressed his frozen cheek against his M1 Garand and tried to remember what summer felt like. He was a Greek-American from Astoria. His mother's letters still smelled of oregano and worry. He'd been in Europe for just 12 days. On December 16th, the world exploded. German artillery turned the forest into a roaring white hell. Operation Autumn Mist, the Battle of the Bulge, had begun. Bill's platoon was supposed to be in reserve. Instead, they became the only thing standing between the 1st SS Panzer Corps and the road to Antwerp. By noon, the platoon was down to 20 men and one officer, Lieutenant Lyle Bouck, who was only 21. They held a nameless ridge. For 16 hours they fought. A German major with 500 paratroopers demanded their surrender in perfect English. Lieutenant Bouck told him to go to hell. Bill fired until his rifle barrel glowed cherry red. They destroyed 3 German half-tracks with bazookas and turned an entire battalion into a traffic jam of burning steel. By nightfall, the ridge was quiet, littered with gray uniforms. The Americans were out of ammunition, food, and almost out of hope. Then, a miracle. A 19-year-old intelligence sergeant named Warner Bartleman, who spoke fluent German, stood up in full view of the enemy. He started shouting. He lied, telling the German commander that American artillery was locked on their position. He lied again, saying P-47 fighter planes were 5 minutes out. He cursed them with such creative flair that some of the enemy soldiers started laughing. The exhausted German captain, low on fuel, decided this small group of crazy Americans wasn't worth another assault. He withdrew. 20 men had delayed an entire SS division for a full day. It was just enough time for the Allies to realize the scale of the German attack. They were captured at dawn, marching out with their hands up, singing the Star-Spangled Banner off-key, their lips too cold to work properly. Bill spent the rest of the war in a prison camp, losing 40 pounds and learning to play chess with pieces carved from stale bread. But the story doesn't end there. Fast forward for months to April 1945, Bill Tsakanikas, now 20, had escaped captivity during a chaotic prisoner march. He was leading a reconnaissance platoon racing toward the Elbe River. On April 25th, near the village of Torgau, Bill's jeep crested a hill and nearly collided with a Soviet scout car. A Russian lieutenant, his face scarred, jumped out, shouting, "Amerikansky!" Bill climbed out slowly. The Russian saw the American uniform, the hollow cheeks, the death camp tattoo on his arm. He started to salute, then changed his mind and hugged Bill, hard enough to crack ribs. The riverbank erupted in celebration. Soldiers laughed, cried, and fired flares into the spring sky. Someone found vodka. Someone else produced Hershey bars. A Soviet photographer took the picture that would go around the world, an American and a Soviet soldier gripping each other's shoulders on a shattered bridge. Elbe Day, the day the Reich was officially cut in two. Bill Tsakanikas is in that photograph. He's the short, dark-haired American on the left, smiling like a man who seemed the worst of the world and found it still was enough to kill hope. He went home to Astoria, opened a diner, married a girl named Sophia, and raised 3 kids. Every December 16th, he closed the diner early to meet with the surviving members of his platoon. They drank, told the same stories, and ended the night standing in the cold, looking up at the stars. Bill passed away in 2011 at the age of 86. On that ridge near Landsreth, a small stone monument lists 20 names. The last line reads, "They were boys who became the winter that refused to kill us." And if you stand there quietly on a December morning, you can almost hear them, 20 young voices, off-key but defiant, singing across the years. Thanks to them, that banner yet waves. Thanks for watching. If you were moved by this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of incredible courage.